What's up gamers? Coach Brandon here. Today we're going to be talking about item spikes and how to use them to your advantage. As always, make sure to constantly be checking our Discord so that you're up to date on events and our tournaments. Okay, let's get into it. To warm up, you should load into the practice tool and purchase your first major component to your first item. These big components include Lost Chapter, Serrated Dirk, Noon Quiver, Pickaxe, etc. Most of the times, these items are extremely important to your champion, so getting comfortable with these items and how they affect your champ is extremely important to learn and practice. What are item spikes? Item spikes are when you buy an item that makes your champion significantly stronger. The biggest spikes for most champs is with your first big component, Dirk, Noon Quiver, Lost Chapter, or your first item purchase. These are the times where the difference between champions that have these items in their inventory are significantly stronger than champs who do not have these items. If you hit tab, you can see if you have this item advantage over your opponents. You should look to fight them 100% of the time. Now, I'm not saying that you winning the fight with this item advantage is guaranteed, but the odds are definitely far greater in your favor. If you have your item spike before your opponent and you aren't taking fights against them, then you're wasting valuable time and resources during a point where you could be actively winning the game. In higher levels of play, you'll see players and teams play around their item spikes. And if you see that your entire team has their big item purchases and not all of your opponents have them, you should look to take a neutral objective that is up during that time, because if your opponents come to contest you, you should be able to just win the fight outright. Item spikes are a big reason that you should be hitting tab at least a few times every minute, so that your information on what your opponents have in their inventory is constantly up to date, and you can use that information to make plays around the map. Using your item advantage to take objectives, towers, or even invade the enemy jungle is a great idea, and one of the easiest way to win games in the early game. Of course, items are not the only thing that's important, but it is an easy indicator of who has a lead, since you cannot directly look at how much gold each player has. In an unrated match, you should look to rush your first item spike and then look to make a play. It doesn't really matter what the outcome of that play is, but the point is to get you to look for those plays so that you do it in a real ranked game. Once you hit your first big item spike, you should ping your team to look to fight a neutral objective, and if your team doesn't seem willing, you can just look to take a fight against your lane opponent, or if you're a jungler, you should look to gank a lane. Playing off of your items is an extremely important lesson to learn, and it's hard to implement unless you are actively telling yourself that you need to seek out these fights when you have your items. Remember, this is just for practice, so it doesn't matter what the outcome of the play is. The important thing is you force a play so that you can make yourself comfortable with making plays at the right time in real games that matter. Again, I'm Coach Brandon, and today we went over item spikes and how to play around them. Remember, you can earn gold by watching videos and leaving comments, and you can use that gold for some pretty cool rewards in the app. Always remember to stay hungry, stay humble, and I'll see you next time.